Let's get into it. Coach Colin here. Shawn Ryan just drops a bit of a bombshell here. Shawn Ryan, and I said it in another episode, I just finished a Shawn Ryan episode I took some notes on. And I talked about how he hasn't really touched on the Charlie Kirk case much at all. And all of a sudden, he on X drops text messages between the head of Charlie Kirk's security and I believe it's the university police chief. And check out what this says. Now, I'm just going to read what he put on the caption. This was a message exchange between Charlie Kirk's head of security and UVU's chief of police regarding the rooftop. Man, wow, check this out. So right away, he's putting this out, and I know right away, these guys are eager to clear their names, right? The security, they're real eager to clear their names. Let's read this really quick. Hello, Chief Long. So, I'm a father now. I can't make immature jokes like that. Hello, Chief Long. We have received this message today from the student group FYSA. There is a student roof access pretty close to where Charlie Kirk will be set up at Utah Valley. The Sororin Student Center has a couple of staircases that go up to the walkways on the roof. Now, what they're talking about is that roof access. Now, I'm going to talk about somebody else who is he's been looking into the case quite a bit. I think he's a little confused on what they're talking about. Then they say, you want access to the roof? And then he says back, and this right here, who's talking, his name is Brian Harpole, or Harpole, sorry. Brian Harpole is the one saying this right now. He is the head of what is called Integrity Security. And I was told, this is what he said, I was told students have access above us. Access above us. If this is true, it would be nice to either have it controlled access or allow one of my guys to be there as well, if possible. And then he says to him, I got you covered. Thank you, sir. That's Monday, but it doesn't actually say the date. I would think it's, a day or two before Charlie actually went, so maybe September 8th or something like that. Oh, it says Monday again. Damn, it doesn't say the date at all. So this is pretty interesting that this text message all of a sudden gets released. Shawn Ryan is just, pretty much putting it out there. He's trying to push people towards checking out the interview. And just so you know, there is an interview. It is not open to us unless you get early access, which I did. And I'm going to be checking that out in a second. Anyway, just saying, I'm going to check it out. It says, thank you, sir. And then somebody down here, now I might be wrong, actually. He might be correct. He said he meant the roof directly above the tent, not forward roofs where the shooter was supposedly. This is out of context is misleading. This out of context is misleading. Now, I don't know if that's what Shawn was trying to do. What do you think? Do you think he's being misleading here? I don't think so. I mean, he's just showing a text message, and this text message is the context. Now, he's saying that there is students have access above us. So I guess he's talking about where they were, like above Charlie's tent. It would be nice to either have that controlled access or allow one of my guys to be there as well, if possible. That's interesting. It's kind of messed up that they didn't take that a little further, because if he is talking about the rooftop directly above Charlie, who cares about that rooftop? Like, yeah, a student could put like a flag or something like that, or a sign or something of that nature who doesn't like Charlie. Sure, but they wouldn't be able to do anything violent to him from that roof, like above him. If you're going to look at that and say that there's access, how do you not know about the roof where Tyler was? Now, that's one side. If he is talking about because when you say roof above, you can't ultimately assume they just mean right above the head. It could, every single rooftop is above them, right? So either way, it seems like they were asking people, or were asking the university police about certain rooftops, but they didn't ask about that one. It really just seems like they didn't scout the location. It seems like Tyler scouted it, allegedly, Tyler scouted the location more than the security did. And I don't know how that's possible. They had way more notification of the whole thing. They had way more time than Tyler did. Tyler had about a week, maybe even less, to drive over there, check it out, see where he was going to shoot from. But there are so many things that developed. I'm trying to remember where I saw the video. I just saw a video where they were talking about all of the odd things that took place, where there was supposed to be, oh no, this is Tucker Carlson and Thomas Crook. Tucker just did an incredible video on Thomas Crook. I don't know if you saw that. Go and check it out. It is such a well done video, and it is showing things that we never saw about Thomas Crook. I would be more focused on Charlie, but I guess Tucker is made that promise to Erica that he's not gonna be touching on that or anything. Candace's girl, the village crazy lady, she said, so Charlie's security was fully aware of this massive security issue, and is specifically, I had trouble with that word the other day, it was crazy, mentioned, and yet still the entire harebrained plan sketched out by Tyler Robinson in little over a week went off without a hitch. Just a regular old series of unfortunate events. I like that lady. She liked one of my comments. She doesn't follow me though, does she? No. She hasn't learned yet. She'll learn. But yeah, unfortunate events, right? Just some old unfortunate events. Now I am going to play a clip because they did put this on YouTube. Check this out. This is a little intro that Shawn made up for the interview that he did. This is literally the guy that they're interviewing. So if you remember all the footage that was going around, this guy right here is the one that is going to be doing a little bit of an interview with Shawn. And the interview is actually 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I wonder what they talk about. I know, way too close to the camera, but you have to understand, I have a Patreon now, so consider subscribing to the Patreon. As you know, sometimes we get attacked by bigger accounts and it puts this channel in jeopardy. On Patreon, I'll be able to talk about things that I can't talk about here, and you'll have more of a link to me just in case, because like I said, they're going to figure out this whole Philadelphia thing that I've been rolling with the past few weeks. And if they do, you'll find me over there. Link in the description.
It's been 2 months since this tragedy, and there are a lot of unanswered questions. People are starving for some answers. I know a lot of people are going to be very interested in what you have to say.
There's so much out there, and there's so much out there that's not true.
You cannot say every one of the pros, and I don't say it, acts that way. But I got
Agreed.
texts about you, Megan.
You know, I've been really quiet about this. It's a real shame, but it just got to be so much that I just did not trust my own eyes, ears, what I was reading, what I was watching. I think a lot of people have sensationalized this.
Well, somebody is trying.
It's wild to say that people sensationalized it when it's like one of the biggest political happenings. And I would say the past 50 years, what's been bigger than this? What has been bigger than this? Since Kennedy, what has been bigger than this? This is huge.
Fabricated a monstrous big lie that
Philadelphia
Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's horrific murder.
Just grainy surveillance footage, fake text messages, and a transgender furry.
In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, The suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. The only thing we deal with at the FBI and the Department of Justice is facts. We delivered at record speed a manhunt to capture Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin in 33 hours.
Did he write a written note before the assassination attempt? That's what the governor said yesterday.
Guys will come up to me and say, where did you get your guys? Where did you get these people? And the only response I've ever been able to make sense is I just tell them, man, I prayed them in.
What does it take to become a security contractor for integrity?
I can't wait till Candace hears that line. I prayed him in. Oh, she's going to be furious when she hears that. Oh my gosh. And listen, I'm sure they're somewhat good. I mean, what do we know about being security? I mean, I have been security, but I mean, I'm charitable. I'm a charitable guy.
Once you've made it through those steps and you're on the team, and then you still have to put that kind of effort out, the team gets together and then they authorize them to get the tattoo. And then they get to get a tattoo, and that, brothers in Christ for eternity.
Good Lord. Wait till Candace sees that. Candace just today, because this is Friday, the 14th, she just today did a live where I was busy working, but she was talking about how there is like this Mormon mafia, she said. I think she used that term, something like that. Like she was just talking about them being very close knit, and I've discussed that as well. And this is not going to help the case. If this guy, and I know she's going to look into him, I've looked into him a little bit. I didn't think to look into him on the angle that she's been looking into people, but if she sees that this guy is a part of all that, and he's getting his guys tattooed, and they're the people who were covering Charlie, and then Charlie passed away. Oh man, this just came out today. If she sees this, I don't know when he's going to make this live, Shawn Ryan. Expect a fiery episode Tuesday or Wednesday for sure. There's no way she's going to just glaze over this.
People need to understand that they do not have jurisdiction on the rooftops or the surrounding area. Their only jurisdiction on a campus is Charlie's physical proximity. And they were coordinating with local PD and campus PD to make sure all of those venues. But also ultimately,
we don't have counter snipers. We don't have the Secret Service.
Right.
Look, they're making sure in that clip, you got to remember that clip, they're making sure not to say too much, because now that this guy has released this, again, what Andrew's saying seems flimsy. Because it's only Charlie's vicinity. Well, this is literally the head of security showing Andrew that that's not true. That is 100% not true. He's looking into rooftops. It's not just his direct vicinity. It's also rooftops. Come on, man. And they say they have no jurisdiction. And I said this weeks ago. I'm like, well, you could at least communicate. And then they did. But they didn't take it a step further and actually make sure that the proper actions happened. Man, keep going.
Snipers. We don't have the Secret Service.
Right.
I ask our guys, are you believers? We have no ties to Israel,
Philadelphia,
or Mossad, or any other one. We're Americans.
Do you have anybody on your team that you think could be tied to planning assassinations?
That is some question. Do you have anybody on your team that could be tied to planning assassinations? Is there anybody good at that on your team? Would you know? What is that guy going to say? Well, I mean, Dan actually, on his spare time, he would really rig up some really good shots, and he would always look at rooftops and be like, oh, we can line it up here. But I never really thought that much. I thought that was just his hobby, you understand? I thought that was just his hobby. He has the tattoo, Brothers in Christ. You understand? So I just figured he was just talking, I figured he was just talking. But yeah, Dan likes to plan. He likes to plan quite a bit. I never thought of that, Shawn. I don't think that's what the answer is going to be myself. I could be wrong.
We're in each other's business. Where they have the time for it, I wouldn't know.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of The Charlie Kirk Show.
People that are in the media, come out and say Charlie had very specific concerns about
Philadelphia.
is the man that owns the company that's in charge of his security detail, and you are the head guy on his security detail. Did he express any of those concerns to you?
Dan works for Turning Point as their security guy, and so Dan feeds down that to us, to our contracted security, which is us for integrity. And so nothing had ever come from Dan, from Charlie, down to us about that. You got to look at the world we live in, and that's a reality. An organization, whether it be a hate group of any type, could want to hurt anybody.
He's no longer with us and all that. So wait a second, what do you mean? What does with us mean exactly, right? I'm an American.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't look at things, by all means.
Yeah.
We should. I mean, we look at people and press and in history of the United States, how valuable they've been. Don't say you're searching for the truth when you're lying to get it.
They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. He's dead.
You know what I want to know? I want to know when he got on the roof. We're shooters. In that shooting position, 3 meters to the right and 10 meters to the left, there was no shot. And so I want to know when that guy got on the roof. We took that shot before.
Really?
We always do. We sit down in the space and we take the shot and send it back to Charlie so that he can see what he's going to see. Yeah, and that's a routine thing that we do. We've all seen the picture.
That's wild. That's wild. Everything they're saying is wild. He's talking about he wants to know where that is. They're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's saying that they will send, I guess, from the tent, they're going to show Charlie what he's going to see, that type of thing. That shot had to have been planned. I mean, and again, just from, obviously, someone's taking a shot. Obviously, they've planned to do that. But what I mean is, it had to have been, like he just said, if you go this way, it's not good. It's this way, and it's right there. But here's the thing. You would think that you couldn't just take that shot. You would also have to be sure that that tent is going to be where it's supposed to be. It would take a bit of communication, I would think, maybe. A little communication with who? I don't know. But it would be hard for you to just handle that on your own. As a straight up civilian, not professional at all. That's all I'm saying. Keep going.
Pictures of the guy when he came on through the staircase. From where we're sitting, where we're standing, we can't see it.
It's a very specific point.
Spot. Boom, run to, boom, take the shot. Did you get all that off?
I mean, it had to have been rehearsed to find that.
Boy, Shawn knows how to make a clip. Boy, oh man, that is wild. I can't wait to see that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't wait to see it. I'm gonna be reporting on it, of course. I'm gonna be pulling out all the gems for you guys, of course. That's happening right away. That's actually gonna start happening right now. So the second that this goes live on YouTube, I will you will hear from me. You will hear from me. I'll say that. Yeah, wild stuff, man. I don't know what to think of this whole thing. And again, like I said at the beginning, these guys are looking to clear their names. And I don't just mean that. I don't mean that like facetiously, like I'm pointing at them like they did something, but how could you not want to clear your name? You have to be seeing the videos, you have to be hearing what's going on. Some people have done, I know early on, I did a breakdown of him and Dan Flood and, their connections and who they were. Rick Colin as well. So they are desperate to clear their names for sure. And I hope he does. And I hope it's believable. We'll have to see. This is what I said to my friend. I was talking to my buddy, and I was like, by the end of this interview, what people are gonna come away with is security did everything they could. UVU though, oh, it's gonna be like that. That's what I think. That's what I think. There might be a little thrown under the bus type of thing going on here in this interview. But we'll see. We'll see. Shawn Ryan is a solid interviewer when it comes to stuff like this, right? Joe Rogan is good when you're just talking, you're just having a free-flowing conversation. Shawn's going to have some direct questions for this guy. So I can't wait to see this one. Just wanted to bring all this to you guys. Expect much more. I'm out of here.